I want to make a video, try to be as short as possible about it, of how to or ways you could cleanse your space, because there are multiple different ways you can do that. Some of the ways that you don't probably hear of as much, I some of them I don't practice myself, or at least I don't realize I am. Um, you could cleanse your space with music or sound, like those sound bowls. Um, there's like Florida water for some others. There's incense sticks for those that can't do cleansing sticks, or in other practices, smudging sticks, since smudging is considered closed. There's also, sorry, I'm trying to remember them all. Crystals for those that use crystals to cleanse their space as well. I kind of do that a little bit. I don't practice it as often as I probably should. Uh, I tend to do more smoke cleansing. So like cleansing sticks, incense for the most part. And the way I go about it, mind you, everyone does it differently. You don't have to do this, but this is how I think about it when I do it. Before I even cleanse the space, before doing anything ritual, spells, etc., or just because I just feel the need, I should, or, do it on a daily ritual, whether once a week, once a month, through the new year, on holidays, whatever. For everyone, it's different. Um, when I cleanse my space, I cleanse myself first before I do anything. So I usually inhale it first, and then I usually go around the head. I usually try to use one hand with this until I have to, cleanse my arms. But usually I go from head down and then come back up. I'm not gonna demonstrate it how I do it, just in case people try to say or do something with that as they would. Um, but I also focus on my solar plexus, or try to remember to focus on cleansing my solar plexus when I do all this. Since some people believe that the solar plexus is where your soul is kept, etc., etc. But I always cleanse myself before I do anything when it comes to cleansing or anything. I also try to remember to get the bottoms of my feet, because I always miss those, but I try to remember to get them, just because usually everything leaks through the feet. Which, again, some people practice, some people believe it. It's what you believe in. It doesn't matter what I believe in. But after I cleanse myself and then go into cleansing the space, I either, if it's just one room, which is typically my bedroom, I start at the main entrance of my door. I have 2 doors in my room, 2 windows. One of them I use, the other one, not really. It's just blocked off. And for emergencies, in case too. But I usually start at the door, and I consider the door 12 o'clock. I think of it like a clock. So, and I go clockwise, or what I consider clockwise, around the room. So I consider my main door the 12 on my clock. And then, cleanse around the space, any mirrors, entry points, whether it's a window or a door, I really try to get to, or especially corners too, because things like to hide in corners, or just dark places in general. And another way you could go about it is finding the north point of your room or whatever space you're cleansing. Start at the north point and consider that your 12 o'clock, and then go clockwise. Or if you want to go counterclockwise for other reasons, you can, but I usually try to go clockwise, to cleanse what is in the space now, and for future purposes. That's how I think of it, rather than going clockwise and getting rid of what may have been in there, if I remember my thinking of that correctly. But that's how I typically tend to cleanse my space. cleanse myself first before cleansing the space, and usually like how I go about cleansing it. If you do smoke cleansing again, um, other ways again may do it differently. You know, like Florida water, spraying it. You know, you could spray in a similar fashion of smoke cleansing for those that can't do that, or other ways of using that Florida water, which other people can definitely give tips on. Um, Sound cleansing, it pretty much is how it's put, or music cleansing for those that are more particular to certain sounds, songs, etc., which I can understand personally with my hearing. Uh, You can also use herbs outside of the typical cleansing sticks and incense sticks. So like salt, for instance, would be another like herb cleansing space. Or like cinnamon sticks. You know, you hear people doing that near doorways, sometimes windows. And crystals, you know, cleansing them every so often, or try to remember to do that, and then putting them in certain points of the room or space that you're trying to cleanse. But that's just some tips, or, you know, kind of how I cleanse my space. Obviously, again, not going to show that just because of people. Plus, it's kind of also a personal thing at the same time. So, but that's how I do it. Hopefully, I described it enough for you to kind of get a representation of how it would look to an outsider. And I think I covered most spaces of other ways to cleanse a space. I can't really think of anything else, besides, you know, smoke cleansing, the other things I've already mentioned. If there's any others, people can always leave a comment, whether to educate myself or other people as well, because I'm never gonna say no to learning, especially, you know. And obviously people can always say, Google it. Well, I would rather hear from a person who does it themselves or whatever, rather than just relying on Google all the time, because some of that stuff can be biased, and it sometimes is hard to also find reliable sources on Google too. So, and obviously not everyone's also reliable too, just to put that out there too, especially if you see inconsistencies with certain things being said too. So just thought this would be kind of a nice video to talk about. So yeah, have a great night.